Hello, it's Colette from the Sacred Rose Temple, and I could not help myself but to do a recording for the Taurus full moon that we are and will be experiencing tomorrow. Well, I'm sure that you're already feeling it. This is a mixed bag, by the way. I am a Taurus star sign, and I know that Taurian energy can be really grounded and stable and all of those things. This Taurus new moon is really not going to be about that. I know, I'm sorry. It's been brutal. It really has. But as I've said in all my other podcasts, that the brutality, what feels like brutality, I'm being a little bit dramatic, but it is all in our greater good. It's all for us. It's all to improve us. It's all to bring us through a deeper evolution of the self. So, what do we expect from this full moon? Well, we know that we get heightened emotions anyway on a full moon. It's when all those little things inside of us come out to play and create turmoil. But this is going to be one of the most bonkers full moon of the year. It really, really is. It's going to leave us feeling sense of uh, stress and anxiety and tension. And it's really important right now to be doing some kind of practice. I said this in my main energy forecast. Do a practice that helps you feel grounded. Do a practice that helps you stabilize. Because over the next couple of days, you're really going to be feeling stressed out, anxious, tense. And there could be some shocking news come in, like more news, more things that are coming through that are going to rock your boat. This has already happened to me, by the way. And what I've tried to do is really use my meditation to anchor into the shock and say, okay, this is something that's come up and I need to deal with it. I just have to deal with it. And I can either allow myself to be in my mind about that, in my fear about that, in my worry about that, or I can just center in my Taurian energy. We're in the Taurus full moon, and find grounding and stability and know that everything's going to be okay and that I'm going to sort out what it is that's coming around me. So I kind of imagine that you're all feeling a lot of this energy, those of you that are particularly receptive to the energies and are delicate to the energy. I think it's becoming also really clear about the bigger structures. I was only saying this yesterday to someone. It's obvious in the dynamic of like the spiritual teacher and the leader, how they live their lives. You can see those that practice what they preach and how humble their lives are, how basic their lives are, how they live in line with nature and spirituality. And then you've got what I call the Vegas spiritual teachers that are not really aligned truly with spirituality. They're in it for the money, the commercialism, the entrepreneurialism, the big crowds or whatever that is. That's going to become more apparent as you are becoming more aware of veils of illusion. You're going to see, hang on, that person's this and they're where, that person's this and they're doing what. And I want you to pay real attention to that. Pull the blinkers down, look at the facts about what people are showing you about themselves. And this isn't applicable just to spiritual teachers, obviously, but to people in your life. Like, do people's words match with the actions? Are they talking a good game, but not actually playing one? And I think the foundational raw and realness of Taurus is going to bring that into transparency. What are people really about beyond the persona, beyond the false face? What's really going on with their lives? Are they selling a good story, but are they really living it? And that full moon is going to ask you to, you know, take off, take off the rose-colored glasses, and the rose colored glasses are going to need to be taken off because this full moon is also ruled by Venus. So I can see already, I've been mooching around on social media. It's clear that the Venus energy of the beautiful and the fantastic and the wonderful, and it's going to fall. It's going to fall, but it only falls if your illusions fall. And you need to look at the truth of where people are placing themselves, the lives they're living, if they're keeping that hidden. Do they really live the life that they are professing, or are they talking a good talk? I think that kind of sums up this energy. But also just rooting into yourself, into the more spiritual aspects. Who are you spiritually? What does that mean? And are you living the life spiritually? What does spirituality mean for you? How can you live that life fully? Are you really committing to a spiritual life? What more can you do committing, as on a commitment level to this work so that it does benefit you and does reap you the benefits of a spiritual life, like feeling completely full and happy and thriving and being able to handle difficulty and adversity and all of those things. So, yeah, the moon is separating us from falseness, from the identity of false veils, illusions. It's stabilizing us in a more grounded approach. It's going to make it very clear where you need to go if you're working with the unconscious. It's going to give you some optimism for the future and saying, yeah, this is actually what I want. And I'm gonna go for it. I'm actually just gonna go for it. And it really is difficult at this time of year because this is the year. I just taught it in my yoga class this morning. We're in fall, we're in autumn, we're coming into winter. We're meant to be slowing down, and we can still apply that. But what we can do instead is think about, okay, I'm coming into a slow cycle. It's winter if you're on this side of the hemisphere. And so for me, that means sitting with what's coming up. I'm not going to take any actions now, but I'm going to sit with what's coming up and say, okay, this is brewing, ready for spring. This is brewing, ready for my movement as we come out of winter. So I'm going to sit with that all in a big cauldron, mix it up in a big pot, and get ready to serve the brew when it comes to spring. So I hope that helps. Have a beautiful day tomorrow on this Taurian moon energy, just feeling that stubbornness, that groundedness, that pulling through change and the difficulty of letting things go and letting veils fall. That's the challenge of Taurian, is to let things go and to let the veils fall. So good luck, and I'll speak to you all again soon.